In order to live better in this world, while remaining faithful to God, throughout this series, we are going to look together at how a truly spiritual man lives and how he should respond to the realities of life. To begin, I would like to talk about something simple: giving, simply, without allowing yourself to be influenced by other people's moods or reactions, as long as you are sure that you are doing it for God. The only opinion that truly matters is God's. Because ultimately, what does it mean to be spiritual? To be spiritual means to live according to the Spirit of God. Simply. There is no need to look for anything complicated behind the word spiritual. A spiritual man is someone who seeks to live according to the Spirit of God, according to what God expects of him. Once you are sure that what you are doing is for God, then do it. Do not start allowing other people's situations to influence you. Do not start focusing on other people's moods. Do not start wondering how one person will react, what another person will think of you, or whether everyone will be happy. As long as you are sure that you are doing it for God, do it. This too is part of learning to become a spiritual man. Now, to understand why a spiritual man must learn to move forward without depending on the opinions of others, we need to understand something important about the work of God. The mission is simple for the person who allows God to guide him. Why? Because God knows where he is going. God knows his plan. God knows his goal. God knows what he wants to accomplish. Where things sometimes become difficult is when this plan has to work through human hearts. And God created human beings free. This is the difficulty we often encounter in a spiritual mission. A human being is free to accept. He is free to refuse. He is free to understand. He is free not to understand. He is free to cooperate. He is also free to resist. And it is this human resistance that, at certain moments, can make it seem as though the mission is no longer moving forward. But that impression is false. It can wrongly make us believe that the work of God has been blocked, because God's goal lies much farther ahead. We, as human beings, look at what is happening today. We look at one person. We look at one difficulty. We look at one form of opposition. We look at what is not working immediately. But God looks much farther ahead. God has a plan, and that plan always comes to pass. I will say it again because it is important. God has a plan, and that plan always comes to pass, through ways that only He knows. You only have to look at the history of all those whom God sent on a mission before our generation. Nothing was easy. No great spiritual journey was simply a succession of easy circumstances. There were difficulties. There was resistance. There were misunderstandings. There were moments when, from a human point of view, it seemed that everything was over. But in the end, they always prevailed. Why? Because when God has decided something, what matters is not only what is happening today. What matters is the final goal. At this point, I can also tell you about my own journey, because what I am explaining to you is something I have experienced myself. Even for me, the shepherd, nothing has been easy. As I speak to you in August 2026, it has been 19 years since this mission began. 19 years of journey. 19 years of mission. The journey has been long. There have been easy moments, and many others that were much more difficult. But God's mission will succeed. I know this because God always brings His plan to completion. There is a goal in this mission that I am carrying out today in the name of the Eternal. And I am not carrying out this mission alone. God is the one who initiated this mission. God is at its center, and He is the one who leads it. In this specific mission, God has entrusted me with an essential responsibility. I must fully assume that responsibility, but everything comes from Him. Every human being is His child, and God knows how to use each person according to His plan to move His work forward. Around me, for example, God has allowed a small team to be formed. These are the people who are directly around me and who work every day in this work. But there is also a much larger team. And this larger team is all of you who are listening to me today. You too are part of this mission, each person according to his or her position, each person according to what he or she can do, each person according to what God expects of him or her. And together, we are moving toward the same goal, under God's guidance. Now, let us return to what you yourselves may encounter in your journey with God. In today's world, you are going to experience certain things. And if you are not sure of your role or your mission, you will give up. That is why it is extremely important to know why you are doing what you are doing. If your motivation depends only on the encouragement of others, when those words of encouragement are no longer there, you will stop. If your motivation depends on the support of those around you, when those people turn against you, you will give up. But when you know that you are doing something for God, your focus must remain on God. The first thing you need to know is that you will be criticized. And sometimes you will be heavily criticized. Why? Because people who are comfortable with the way they live do not always want to change. When you bring something that requires people to change their behavior, change the way they see certain things, or leave certain habits behind, you will make them uncomfortable. And when people's comfort is challenged, their first reaction may be criticism. They will criticize what you do. They will criticize what you say. They will criticize the way you do things. Sometimes they will not even truly try to understand what you are saying. They will criticize you simply because what you are saying challenges certain habits. If at that moment you are not sure of your mission, you will begin to doubt. You will begin to ask yourself, should I continue? Should I stop? Maybe everyone else is right. That is why a spiritual man must know who he is working for. But criticism is not the only thing you will encounter. You will also be misunderstood, because some things may be new to people's shared understanding. When you announce something that people are not used to hearing, do not necessarily expect them to understand immediately. What is new can be disturbing. What is new can be frightening. What is new can be rejected simply because it is new. So you will be misunderstood. And sometimes for a long time. You must accept that. The fact that people do not understand immediately does not mean that you should abandon what God is asking you to do. Once again, the only opinion that matters is God's. And sometimes opposition can go even further. You may even be physically threatened. Yes, it can go that far. When certain people cannot stop you through criticism, when they cannot discourage you, they may go much further. But you need to understand something. People may threaten you physically, but no one can threaten you spiritually when God is with you. Physically, a person may try to harm you. He may use the means available to him. He may use his position. He may use his influence. He may use his ability to cause harm. But spiritually, he can do nothing against God. And if God is with you, your mission does not depend on the human power of the person standing in front of you. That is why a spiritual man must learn not to be afraid simply because another person is trying to intimidate him. God always asks a person to do His will, and He takes care of the rest. You must also prepare yourselves for another reality. Sometimes you will be isolated. And the more important the mission is, the greater that isolation may become. At some point, you may find yourself without a true friend, without a true confidant, because not everyone will be able to understand what you are going through. Not everyone will be able to understand the responsibility you carry. Not everyone will be able to understand why you continue when, from a human point of view, some people think you should stop. And this isolation is also part of the formation of a spiritual man. Because at some point, you must learn to focus on God. You must learn not to need someone beside you to confirm every day that you are on the right path. There will be times when you are surrounded by people, and there will be times when you will have to move forward almost alone. But God will be there, and it will even show on your face. People will see that you are happy, perhaps without ever understanding why. And finally, you must also accept one thing. People will mock you. Some will say that what you are doing will lead nowhere. Others will try to ridicule you. They may make fun of what you say or describe what you are doing as if it made no sense. Some will wait for you to fail. Others may even wait for several years, hoping that one day everything will come to an end. But you will always win, not necessarily in the way human beings define victory, but when you remain within God's plan always comes to pass in the end. All these situations I have just mentioned are not useless. They are necessary when someone carries a great mission. Why? Because the person who carries a great mission needs to focus on God. He must learn to help carry out God's will in the world or in his own environment according to the mission God has entrusted to him. If he has to wait for everyone to agree with him before moving forward, he will never accomplish anything. If he has to change direction every time someone is unhappy, he will eventually no longer know where he is going. That is why God saves the person who carries a mission. He saves him through certain situations. He saves him through criticism. He saves him through misunderstanding. He saves him through solitude. Sometimes he even saves him through opposition. All of this helps shape the spiritual man who carries a great mission. But we must understand something important. Not all spiritual men are required to go through these stages with the same level of demands. It all depends on the mission. Depending on the mission God gives a person, the trials and the demands will not be the same. One person may have a spiritual mission that is carried out mainly within his family. Another may have a mission within a group. God may also place a person in a position that will allow him to accomplish part of his plan, sometimes without that person being fully aware of it. Another person may have a mission that reaches many more people. The level of demands will not necessarily be the same. But remember this: the greater your spiritual mission, the greater the demands may be. The greater your mission, the more you must be able to endure certain things. The greater your mission, the more likely you are to be misunderstood. The greater your mission, the more you may be criticized. And the greater your mission, the more you may also experience isolation. Because God must gradually teach you to depend on Him before depending on people. That is what matters. When you know that God is with you, you no longer build your life around the opinions of those around you. You continue. You move forward. You do what God asks you to do. Because God always brings His plan to completion. So, if there is one thing you should remember from this teaching, it is this. In the life of a spiritual man, there will be moments when you must do what God expects of you without worrying about other people's moods. You must give when it is time to give. You must act when it is time to act. You must move forward when it is time to move forward. As long as you are sure that you are doing it for God, do it. Do not live according to what people will say. Do not live according to their moods. God is your compass. Because being spiritual, I repeat, means living according to the Spirit of God. And the person who truly wants to live according to the Spirit of God must gradually learn to look to God first. Criticism will come. Misunderstanding will come. Mockery will come. Isolation may come. Threats may even come. But if you truly know why you are moving forward and who you are moving forward for, you will continue. Because God's goal goes beyond what you can see today. Because God has a plan. And because God's plan always comes to pass. I invite you to continue following this series dedicated to the life of a spiritual man. Much more guidance is still to come to help you better understand how to live with God in this world, how to respond to difficulties, and how to remain faithful to what He expects of you. May God keep you.